Do you find it impossible to create art because you don't feel like it, because you've got so many things going on in your life? Let me share my journey with you while I work on my next series inspired by my wabi-sabi works. Feelings do try to thwart me sometimes, and struggles certainly have a way of showing up when you least need them. Even now, this current group of paintings is taking way too long because I didn't know about the extra long time it takes for oil-based ink to dry. In spite of making many videos well in advance, they've now all been published. So now I'm behind on my videos. I'm now on that dreaded YouTube creator treadmill that I so much wanted to avoid. It's almost enough to make me want to quit. However, I made a life-changing decision years ago to not allow my emotions or my circumstances to rule my life. At 38 years old, after the breakup of my marriage, I moved with my children back to Kansas to be close to my parents. I had hoped to continue my fledgling portrait business that I had started back in California, so I bought a small easel and a few art supplies and set it all up in my bedroom. My plans were to create art after the kids were all safely tucked in at night. That easel gathered dust in the corner, taunting me every night as I crawled into bed, exhausted. As a working again mother, going through a crazy divorce, and aren't they all crazy, I underestimated the emotional and physical toll I'd face. Meeting the needs of my young, emotionally fragile kids, and trying to do well in my day job as a project assistant left little in the tank for creating art after the children were in bed. The divorce was eventually finalized, and I slowly better balanced solo parenting with my career demands, but I still couldn't get to the easel. The big change in my thinking came from a one-day leadership training workshop with John Maxwell. It ignited my imagination to learn I could be a leader over my own life, but it was vital to know that the ladder I chose to climb was leading against the building I wanted to ascend. My aspirations needed to align with my inner values. For several months, with my easel gathering even more dust, I scoured Maxwell's books to understand how to ascertain what truly mattered to me. Still contending with solo mothering and work duties, I was buoyed by the prospect of having agency over the direction of my life. Invigorated by writing down my discovered dreams for my children and myself, I also wrote down goals. Then I worked my plans the best I knew how, no matter how I felt. Not perfectly, and certainly not without struggle. Making motions forward every day, even imperfectly, brought about results I liked, eventually. That's when I began showing up at my easel most days, still weary from the day, but buoyed by a way forward. What had essentially changed for me was knowing my why, and then creating and following an imperfect path to doing what I valued. I liked the agency I had over my feelings. I valued modeling to my children that valuable goals could be achieved by persevering. I also value my faith and my self-respect. This gave me the confidence to start an art ministry at church. We had 2 successful exhibitions. Then love intervened when I met Bill, a New Zealander, or a Kiwi. My children and I moved to New Zealand to be with him. That was over 20 years ago. Simply knowing my why gave me an impetus to act. For me, knowing your why is the most important thing to discover in art and in life. I place so much importance on this that I take the time to review my dreams every year, and then I readjust my plans if it's needed. And then I work those plans. Do you struggle with creating art because of your feelings, or because you're tired, or there's simply too much going on in your life? Then perhaps it's time for you to discover your why. Living Forward by Michael Hyatt and Daniel Harkavy is an excellent read for this. My current life plans are based on the strategies given in that book, which I read and notated several years ago. Their strategies have helped sustain me through the craziness of the past several years, especially with closing my business and repair of my home. John Maxwell, excellent fellow. Wisdom is excellent. Of course, a plethora of people on YouTube can help you. A big shout out to Struthless for his videos on this, especially the one on Jerry Seinfeld and harnessing the stallion. Whoever you choose, make sure you do these 4 things. Listen carefully, take notes, figure out how you can implement what they are suggesting, and 4th, then find a way to do what is recommended. I can show you how I've done this if you'd like. Just let me know in the comments. One caution, however, aspirational videos, they stir the emotions and they bolster your intentions. But for me, intentions accomplish nothing. This is why I read or watch or listen to these resources with a pen and paper in hand. Then I make plans that are adjusted to the realities or boundaries of my own life. This is the magic sauce, to me, of a good life and a meaningful time in the studio. I had hoped these works would be finished by now so that they could be in this video. So I changed my plans. I now upload a video every 2 weeks rather than weekly. And my goodness, YouTube has not imploded. And I'm still committed to making 52 works in 52 weeks. My dreams, targets, and plans can and they do change, but not my values. My values compel me to step into the studio every weekday as planned to make at least one forward motion to completing these works. I can't wait to show you the completed works. I'd appreciate it if you would like this video and delighted if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you for watching, and now I recommend you watch this. Go on,